I will call to order the Town of Dartmouth Conservation Commission meeting for Tuesday, April 26, 2025. We do have a quorum of commissioners present: Nat, Megan, Donald, James, and myself. So affirmative vote for anyone who wants to know will require 4 positive votes. So that'll be 4 out of the 5. This meeting was duly posted in the town hall and on the website, so we're meeting in compliance with state laws and Town of Dartmouth bylaws. We're conducting the meeting this evening remotely because back on March 28th, 2025, Governor Healy further extended the hybrid remote meeting option to municipalities. She extended that option until June 30, 2027. We do have features on this remote meeting that allows for audience participation. Raise your hand feature, chat, as well as, if all else fails, just make some sort of movement, and we will try to recognize you as soon as we can. I will point out that we would appreciate if you're not speaking to mute your microphone so that we don't receive the ambient noise from your microphone. That being said, I'll dive right in. We have administrative items. In the first, excuse me, is a corrective vote to reapprove the meeting minutes on the July 8th. I'm sorry. We had meeting minutes that were approved last meeting. I forgot the date of those minutes, and it's not on the agenda, but they were approved, stating that the Donald's discussion took place on July 22nd, not July 8th. So we have to make an amendment to that. Entertain a motion to modify or reapprove the minutes as modified.
So moved.
Of a second?
For the record, that's the minutes of July 8th.
Okay. Thank you. So roll call vote. Nat?
Yes.
Megan?
Yes.
Donald? Donald?
Yes.
Okay. James?
Yes.
My vote is yes. That motion passes unanimously. The next is to approve the meeting minutes for July 22nd, 2025, with Donald's modifications appropriately included in that. So that was the modifications that we talked about last meeting. If anyone needs to know what they were again, let me know.
So moved.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second? Seconded motion on the floor. Roll call vote. Nat?
Yes.
Megan?
Yes.
Donald?
Yes.
James?
Yes.
My vote is yes. That motion passes unanimously. Our third administrative item is to approve the field trip reports of August 12, 2025. May I have a motion to that effect, please?
So moved.
Second.
Seconded motion. Roll call vote. Nat?
Yes.
Megan?
Yes.
Donald?
Yes.
James?
Yes.
My vote is yes. That motion passes unanimously. Our final administrative item is to receive the minutes of August 12, 2025. A motion to that effect, please.
So moved.
Second.
We have a seconded motion. Roll call vote. Nat?
Yes.
Megan?
Yes.
Donald?
Yes.
James?
Yes.
My vote is yes. That motion passes unanimously. I think for the first time since I've been a commissioner, we don't have any field reports.
No, Mr. Chairman, we do. And I was going to ask for a point of order here. Eduardo is going to be handling the field trip reports and the public hearings this evening. I'm the number 2 quarterback tonight. So the presentations will be done by Eduardo. Field trip reports. We had a COC request that came in a few hours after the posting of the agenda for file number 15-1228. I checked with Mike to see, since we don't have to have it a legal ad or a butter notifications, we sometimes add these on at the chairman's behest. I asked Mike if he would consider it, and he indicated to me that he would consider it and take it on the agenda, take it as part of this agenda, even though it wasn't part of the posted agenda. Having said that, I'll turn it over to Mike, back to Mike and to Eduardo.
Well, Eduardo, I think Mark's summary was accurate as far as the communications between he and I. What is staff's recommendation on this request?
So this COC is for 3 Eliza Lane. It comes from an old subdivision plan dating back to 1996. We've had other partials come before us for 2 different lots. Staff did an inspection and found the work to be in compliance. Therefore, we're recommending a partial certificate of compliance solely for 3 Eliza Lane or map 44, lot 20.
Okay. Does any commissioner have any questions? I don't see any, so I'll entertain a motion on this request for a certificate of compliance on DEP file 15-1228. Is that correct, Mark?
1228, yes.
So moved.
Well,
Second.
we didn't finish yet. For a partial certificate, issuance of a partial certificate of compliance for map 44, lot 20, which is the lane.
So moved.
There we go.
Second.
Motion seconded on the floor. Roll call vote. Nat?
Yes.
Megan? Oh, you're muted, Megan.
Sorry, yes.
Donald?
Yes.
James?
Yes.
My vote is yes. That motion passes unanimously. Is there any other field report, Eduardo?
No, that's the only one.
Okay. So we're going to move on to our public hearings. And the first is a public hearing on DEP file 15-2795. That's NOI 25-28 on the notice of intent from Harvey Wolkoff, care of Tanner Pool, to reinitiate a Phragmites management program to promote growth of native plant species within the 100-foot buffer zone to a salt marsh and within land subject to coastal storm flowage. The land is described as map 112, lot 4. It's otherwise known as 132 or 132 Elm Street. I'll entertain a motion to waive the reading.
So moved.
Second.
We have a seconded motion on the floor. Roll call vote. Nat?
Yes.
Megan?
Yes.
Donald?
Yes.
James?
Yes.
My vote is yes. That motion passes unanimously. Is there someone here this evening on behalf of the applicant?
I'm not sure who Black Duck is, and they're muted, so I don't know.
Well,
It's not them.
we have iPad 9 and iPad 108. Well, without a presenter, I'm loath to go forward. I entertain a motion to put this as our third public hearing, so we'll allow the other 2 to go forward first and then come back to this.
So moved.
The seconded motion, roll call vote. Nat?
Yes.
Megan?
Yes.
Donald?
Yes.
James?
Yes.
My vote is yes. That motion passes unanimously. The second public hearing is on DEP file 15-2796. That's NOI 2529. It's on the notice of intent from Pokanoket Realty Trust, care of David M. DeVignan, to reconstruct a stone riprap seawall and relocate a gravel driveway within the 100-foot buffer zone to a coastal bank and within land subject to coastal storm flowage. The land is described as map 100 and 97 lot 5-1 5-2, and then in parentheses 58. It's otherwise known as 11 Poconoket Lane. I'll entertain a motion to waive the reading.
So moved.
Second.
Second on that motion?
Second.
The seconded motion, roll call vote. Nat,
Yes.
Megan,
yes,
Donald,
Yes.
James?
Yes.
My vote is yes. That motion passes unanimously. And I see that Mr. Davignon is here. Dave, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good evening, members of the commission. May I screen share?
Yes, you may.
So for the record, I'm Dave Davignon from Schneider, Davignon and Leone. I'm here this evening representing the applicant, Poconoket Realty Trust, as well as which is Jordan and Julie Hitch. They own 11 Poconoket Lane here to the west or the left side of the page. Their property boundary is the southerly side of Poconoket, and it runs in a curvature nature running parallel to Buzzards Bay. There is a seawall located off-site, but within property that they have permission to maintain, that's owned by Non-Quit Proprietors Trust. This project is the proposed deconstruction and reconstruction of an existing stone riprap seawall. We have surveyed the site and updated our survey data this past year. The dark colored stones that you see that if you follow my cursor represent an eroded area that has occurred behind the seawall. The wall is kind of broken up and slumped into the bay towards the eastern edge, and the backside has significant erosion, which has been caused by the last couple of winter storms. The proposal is to tear down the wall and start from scratch. We would start at the northerly end, which is the beginning point of where the Geb Lines rebuilt their stone wall. We did the survey and design plan for the Geb Lines, and the arrow that I'm pointing to is the beginning point of where they reconstructed in the same fashion that the Hitches are proposing tonight. So we would match the top of the seawall capstone in this location and then carry that along the shoreline, following the westerly landward edge of the seawall until we got to the solid filled pier. So our resource area is the coastal bank itself. We are within land subject to coastal stone flowage, velocity zone. We do have resource areas seaward of the existing structure. When we're done, we anticipate having we'll end up with a situation where the seaward base of the wall will be this bold line, which would be landward of its current location. So all of the stone seaward of that bold line would be cleaned up and taken off the beach. The cross sections shown on the lower left part of the plan show the construction of the seawall with capstones. The beginning 65 feet of the seawall from the Geb Line wall running south past this row of boulders, pretty much the top of the wall will match grade. And then the grade starts to fall off a little bit as you head towards the southerly part. So there's a secondary cross-section shown where the wall, the capstones would actually be above grade. So there'll be about a 9-inch reveal from finished grade to the top of the capstones. But again, the concept here is to have the wall match what's there to the north and end back at the seawall, the solid filled pier at this location. In doing the work, everything we've done from the landward side, Poconoket Lane will be the access. There is an existing driveway that comes off of Poconoket to service or provide access to a house owned by the Lins, which is bordering the southerly side of Saconnet Street here. This driveway is on the Non-Quit property. until it gets to a point right about here where it traverses over the Hitch property. The access road will, in order to construct the seawall, there'll be a temporary gravel road behind the seawall built, running along the backside of the seawall for that construction. There's no heavy machinery proposed on the coastal beach. Upon completion of this wall and the activity, the concept is to move and shift this gravel driveway to the east and back onto the non-quit trust properties. So, and this area, which is on the Hitch property, will be loamed and seeded, stabilized with loam and seed. And additionally, the seawall to the south of the solid fill pier, we're simply proposing to just reconfigure and tighten up the boulders that exist along that wall. There'll be no expansion, no change in the footprint. Any excess stones from the reconstruction project to the north of the pier would be added to the seawall wherever there are holes and voids that could use the supplemental material. So with that being said, I should say that the seawall does have a waterways license. I believe it's a 99-year amnesty license, which was issued by the DEP for the entire shoreline on the non-quit property some time ago. And we do have a DEP file number. I don't believe there are any comments. So with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
I just, before I ask for staffs, I just have a quick question. You mentioned that this project is on land owned by the corporation non-quit proprietors. Have they given written permission for this project or the application?
Yes, within the application, prior to me filling out the application, I was provided a memo from Mr. Hitch, which came from Alexander McFerrin, Chair and Trustee of the Non-Quit Proprietors Trust, authorizing the work to occur.
Mr. Chairman, for the record, I concur with that. We do have a copy of that signed memorandum in the file.
Okay. And the reason I'm asking is not to be nosy, but I want to be sure that the property owner is aware of this proposal and this application and consents to it. That's why I'd asked, and I wanted to make sure we have that on record as well. Thank you, Mark, and thank you, David. Eduardo, I'll now ask you for staff's comments regarding this project.
So Mark and I went out, and as Dave was mentioning, the stone riprap seawall is indeed in need of repair to match the other half. Given that, we're recommending a standard order of conditions per the plan dated August 5th, 2025, with modifying special conditions 21 and 41 to incorporate MADMF comments. So special condition 21 stating that this order is contingent on the applicant obtaining all other necessary and required permits or licenses. No activity shall occur prior to obtaining all such approvals. This is to include compliance with the MADMF comments dated August 11th, 2025. Those comments include A, boulders and stones within the intertidal environment and that are not remnants of the existing structure are natural habitat for marine invertebrates and shall remain in place on the coastal beach. B, there shall be appropriate intertidal spacing for any portion of the repaired structure that falls within the intertidal environment to provide suitable habitat for fish and invertebrates. C, there shall be no expansion of the structure into the tidal environment. And D, any activity within the intertidal zone shall occur at low tide and in the dry. And the other modified condition, 41, work shall occur from the land side. Should any unanticipated barge work be required, then the following shall occur. The Conservation Office shall be contacted prior to any overwater work to determine appropriate means to complete the construction, to include but be limited to A, not grounding of the barge at any time, and B, to deploy floating erosion control booms with weighted silk curtains around the barge.
Thank you, Eduardo. David, if you could stop sharing the screen, I'd appreciate it so I can
Oh.
see if anyone has to wave their hand. But does any commissioner have any questions either of staff or Mr. DeVigna?
Chairman, it's not one
Yes.
question.
Yeah.
Just regarding that last condition, and maybe I didn't hear the presentation correctly, but I thought all the work would be done from the land.
Yeah, I
So
think
there'd be
that's
no
right.
barge. Is that
You
correct?
heard it correctly. It just said if one
Okay,
is
if one,
needed,
okay.
or if something comes up where they realize they can't do it from the land.
Okay,
think
thank you.
that's
I
what I
must have
heard.
missed part of Eduardo's comment then. Thank
Yeah,
you.
I think that's what you said, Eduardo. I believe that.
Yes,
Nat-
correct. Yeah.
That I crafted that condition, and that's kind of standard on all these seawall projects.
Yep.
We know that the proponent doesn't intend to do barge work, but every
Just in
now and
case.
then there's unanticipated circumstances where that has to become part of it. Instead of amending the permit,
Sure.
delaying it, we condition the permit that if this happens, then A, B, and C will happen. I don't anticipate, and I trust David, that they're going to work from the land side. So that, but one never knows. And in terms of I know you didn't ask this, but just to clarify, from condition 21, David has indicated that everything's mean high water, and that's the way it looks. DMF issued comments, so those comments were included in the conditions. Should intertidal work end up happening, then, but again, we're not anticipating it, so we're not questioning what David's saying, but it's sort of a backup. It's a catch-all just in case.
Okay, thank you.
Any other
And
questions?
Mr. Chairman, if I could add that the recommendation on that order of conditions will be as per the plan dated August 5th, 2025. That would be the
Right,
site
right.
plan.
I think Eduardo mentioned that at the beginning.
Did
Yeah.
he? I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I didn't hear it.
That's okay. I was taking notes, Eduardo, so
Yeah,
I did-
appreciate it.
I had that already. So you must have said it. Does anyone in the audience want to be heard on this proposal? All right, I'm not seeing anybody raising their hand. I don't see anybody waving their hand. So at this juncture, I'll
Don has a hand up. I'm not sure
No,
if that was a mistake. Well, you got a hand up on the screen, so
all right, so that was inadvertent. So I'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
We have
Second,
a second on that motion. We'll have a roll call vote. Nat,
yes.
Megan,
yes,
Donald,
yes,
James.
Yes.
My vote is yes. Commissioners, I believe it's appropriate to entertain a motion to issue a standard order of conditions on the plan dated August 5, 2025, with modified conditions 21 and 41, including MADMF comments dated August 11, 2025, as read into the record by staff.
So moved.
Second,
We have a seconded motion on the floor. Roll call vote. Nat,
yes.
Megan,
yes,
Donald,
yes,
James.
Yes.
My vote is yes. That motion passes unanimously. Moving on to the third public hearing.
Thank you for your time. Have a good evening.
Oh, you're welcome, David. Thank you. Good presentation. Third public hearing.
Mike,
DEP
I'm sorry, maybe it's just me, but I can see you speaking and I can see you're not on mute, but I can't hear any audio.
I don't know. Can everyone hear me?
I can.
I
can-
can hear you.
Okay. Might be your speakers on.
I got it. I hear you now. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Thank you.
No problem. I'm glad you brought it up. I don't want you to try to read my lips. That'll be hard. I mumble. The third public hearing is on DEP file 15-2797. That's NOI 2530. It's on the notice of intent from Tracy Noonan, care of Richard Rayum, to construct a proposed addition to an existing dwelling within the 100-foot buffer zone to a coastal bank and land subject to coastal storm flowage. It's described as map 121, lot 19. It's otherwise known as 8 Bono Court. I'm entertain a motion to waive the reading.
So moved.
Second.
We have a seconded motion. Roll call vote. Nat, you still with us?
Yes. Yes.
Megan,
Yes.
Donald,
Yes.
James?
Yes.
My vote is yes. Commissioners, I know that we've received a request from the applicant's engineer to continue this public hearing since the applicant is out of the country and Mr. Rayum wanted to have an opportunity to address some of the concerns of those individuals who've already expressed their objections or concerns about this project. I checked with Mark. This is the first request made on this project. So it is, according to our bylaws, within our discretion of whether we grant the request. And if we do so, it'll be to our next public hearing, which is on September 9th. So that being said, I just want to see if anyone's in the audience that came here specifically for this. And just to let you know, if we grant the motion to continue, you can certainly speak tonight, but you will be given an opportunity to speak at that time. There's no presentation tonight, and we know that there has been some concerns articulated by neighbors and others that has reached our office and are on record. So there's somebody who raised their hand.
Chairman Brooks from the select board has their.
I'm here as an abutter. But I raised my hand just so that you would be aware that it is this issue that I am in attendance, which is what you had asked, Mr. Kehoe.
Yes, thank you for doing that. I appreciate it. And certainly, if we grant the motion, which quite frankly is usually granted if it's the first request, we're lenient in that respect. You'll be have an opportunity on our next public hearing at September 9th. You'll have that opportunity to speak any concerns you have or ask questions of the applicant's engineer, etc. Is there anyone else that just wants to be noticed for tonight? Okay, I don't see anybody.
Mr. Redfern is raising his hand.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I didn't see you. Go right ahead, Mr. Redfern.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I just wanted to, I guess, express our concern, but we had sent letters to the board, and I wanted to know if those letters would either be read or if they're part of the record at this point.
If you sent them to our office as part of this particular proposal, they're part of the record. You don't have to read them again, and we're likely to continue this. I can't pre-speak because we haven't voted, but as I said a moment ago, we're pretty lenient on requests, especially the first request for a continuance. So
Sure.
if you want to hit the high points of that letter at the next public meeting, or even respond to what you hear at the next public hearing, you're very welcome to do so. That's your right to do so. Okay. But at this point, we're not likely to go into anything regarding the merits because we have a request for continuance that's been made, and we'll have to vote that first. And I think it would be unfair for everybody to be speaking with no representative of the applicant. But I certainly do not want to and I appreciate the fact that you're here, and I appreciate the fact that you've also written concerns. Those are very helpful to our staff. And if what we heard from the applicant's engineer is accurate. I think they're going to try to address some of the things that you raised, and maybe even reaching out to you before that meeting would be a good idea. But I can't tell them what to do. I can just suggest it might not be a bad idea.
So they have copies of everyone's letters who sent. Okay. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, if I could speak to that. Mr. Redfern, we forwarded your letter and a letter from the Collective Smiths of 9 Gun Court to the commission as part of their packet for tonight before we even knew that there was going to be a request for continuance. We have received, I think, 3 additional letters. I can't speak to whom they're from. I think 1 or 2 of them was from an address 21 Clarence Street. So we do have some additional letters that we will forward to the commissioners, and they are uploaded on the portal, and they are also part of the hard copy record of the file. So those have been distributed or will be distributed. I don't know if we actually got to them. I know I sent the letters we received today on to Mr. Rayom saying that there were more comments. I did not get a chance to read those letters, but I did send them to him based on his request for a continuance to address abutter comments. So that your information has been forwarded.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
Okay. So anyone else? Don't want to preclude anybody. So the reason I'm getting closer to my screen, I've got my reading glasses on and they're terrible when I'm this far away to see what's on the screen. In
We
any
have Black Duck has got their hand raised.
All right, Black Duck, you can unmute yourself.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, please state your name and address for the record.
Sure. My name is Keith Manchester, 21 Clarence Street. And I just want to let you know that we sent videos and pictures of the area during no name storms. But I just would like to have the commission go down there as far as the environmental and take a look at the seawall, and we'll go from there. We'll wait till the next meeting. But I would appreciate another visit to the area, and so we'll be able to discuss it at the next meeting, if that's possible.
Just so you know, I mean, we don't normally do site visits but you've requested one. Eduardo, I don't have a problem with the commission doing a site visit sometime between now and that meeting.
Right.
By the way, if we do, just by way of background, commissioners, if we all go out on site to do a site visit, we are not to discuss this. We're taking the opportunity to observe, because we don't want to be in violation of the open meeting law. Okay.
Correct.
So this is not a continuation of the public hearing.
Yes.
So, but if you want to go on your own as well, not have to go as a group, I would recommend that you contact Eduardo or Mark and let them know you want to do it, so they can reach out to the applicant and they know there's going to be a commissioner on their property, and they won't be calling the police department.
Sure, I appreciate it. And I also submitted photos
Photos and videos.
and videos. So
All right. Well, I appreciate that as well. You know what they say about a picture.
make it easier for you. But my main concern is the environment and the conservation. So I'll let it go at that, and I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. So, commissioners, we do have a request for September 2025 at 7 p.m. I'll entertain a motion to that effect.
So moved.
We have a second on that motion, please.
Second.
I heard a second. Roll call vote. Nat?
Yes.
Megan?
Yes.
Donald?
Yes.
James?
Yes.
My vote is yes. That motion passes unanimously. For those of you here tonight, please mark your calendars for September 9th. There will not be another letter like you received. So it'll be on the website when you look at our agenda, but mark it on your calendar so you don't miss that opportunity. I see Chairman Brooks, you have your hand raised again?
Yes, I just wanted clarification on
Yep.
the issuance of the abutters letters, because we actually never received a letter as an abutter. So I didn't know who was responsible for sending out letters to the abutters.
I believe that's the applicant's responsibility. It used to be in the old days, unless
If-
they changed it.
If I could speak to that, Mr. Chairman, it
Sure.
is the applicants or their agent's responsibility to send out abutters notifications under the Wetlands Protection Act and under the wetland bylaw. The only abutters that are to be notified are those who fall within 100 feet of the property line of the subject site. Unlike zoning, which is 300 feet, and other jurisdictions that are 300 feet, the abutters list for Wetlands Protection Act and Wetlands Bylaw is 100 feet. So there are far fewer notices that go out under conservation by law than under other jurisdictions. So if your closest property line to their closest property line to you is greater than 100 feet, you would not have gotten an abutters letter.
My property is less than 87 feet.
I'm not questioning where your property is. I'm just saying what the
No.
law is.
I
You should have
understand that, but
received you should have received a letter then. If you're within
Right.
the 100 feet zone, then it would have been incumbent upon the applicant to send certified letter. That technically, that's a procedural defect, which I suspect if Mr. Rayum is alerted to this, they can correct it by sending you the certified mailing for the September 9th meeting.
then I will make sure that Mr. Rayom is aware.
Okay,
Thank you.
because he should have done it to begin with, but I'm glad you
Yes.
brought that up because that is the requirement.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. So we'll move on. I guess we voted, right? I've kind of lost track of that. I think we did.
You did vote on to continue to the 9th.
Okay, that's what I thought, but I wanted to be sure because you know what? I'm sort of slipping a little. So sometimes I sort of think about things and we don't do them. So here we're going to go now back up to number 1. And number 1 is been read into the record already, but I'm going to reread it. It's a public hearing, DEP file 15-2795, NOI 2528, on the notice of intent from Harvey Wolkoff, care of Tanner Pool, to reinitiate a Phragmites management program to promote growth of native plant species within the 100-foot buffer zone to a salt marsh and within land subject to coastal flowage. It's described as map 112, lot 4, otherwise known as 132 Elm Street. May I have a motion to waive the reading, please?
So moved.
Second.
We have a seconded motion on the floor. Roll call vote. Nat?
Yes.
Megan?
Yes.
Donald?
Yes.
James?
Yes.
And my vote is yes, that motion passes unanimously. Is there someone here on behalf of the applicant or the applicant? Well, I still am seeing nobody. Well, I'm loath to take action on a proposal where there's no proponent who has the burden of proof. So even though staff may have comments or recommendations, we're really, you're not the proponent. We're not the proponent. We're not the ones who have to overcome the burden of proof.
Mr. Chairman, might I suggest that we continue this hearing until the 9th? I will notify the applicant and their agent tomorrow that they missed the hearing and they should be prepared to make the September 9th meeting and, just go from there, which has been our typical practice in the past.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the courteous thing to do. Obviously, the other alternative is to deny the request, at which point they'd have to refile, and I think that would be a sort of draconian approach if it was an inadvertent error.
Well, they'd
So,
have to wait 3 years, and given this project and the type of project it is, 3 years would be a disaster for what they're trying to accomplish. And it's a ecological restoration project. It is not a development project. So it's one of those things where, you don't want to, bite your nose off to spite your face.
understood. I personally would have no problem granting a continuance. It may have just been a calendaring error where they put it on for the wrong date. So that happens. In any event, commissioners, any questions about about that? I'm certainly willing to allow commentary. All right, I'll entertain a motion to continue the public hearing on file 15-2795 until Tuesday, September 9th, 2025 at 7 p.m.
So moved.
Second.
We have a seconded motion on the floor. Roll call vote. Nat?
Yes.
Megan?
Yes.
Donald?
Yes.
James?
Yes.
My vote is yes. That motion passes unanimously. That concludes the public hearings. We're going to move on now for items for discussion. And we do have a bill for $147.12 for WB Mason office supplies. I'll entertain a motion to approve or authorize the payment of $147.12 to WB Mason office supplies.
So moved.
Second.
We have a seconded motion on the floor. Roll call vote. Nat?
Yes.
Megan?
Yes.
Donald?
Yes.
James?
Yes.
My vote is yes. That motion passes unanimously. We have 2 items for discussion. Mark, why don't you just go and take the leading, or Eduardo, whoever's.
No, I'm going to handle discussion this evening. Well, the first discussion item, and Mike, you already broached it early in the meeting last week, was a board commission members meeting at Town Hall to bring new members pretty much up to speed on the procedural requirements. I forwarded to the commission a copy of the document today. I received it today with the form that has to be signed and submitted to the Assistant Town Administrator, Chris Vitale, indicating that you've read and you understood the contents within that report. One of the things that happens, or 2 of the things that happen, is, commissioners older commissioners kind of get comfortable in their style, and every now and then you have to be reminded that there is a process that has to take place. And for the newer members, the process can be overwhelming to learn. There are certain do's and don'ts that we can and can't do, limit on jurisdiction, the kind of things that you are ruling on, personal versus regulatory, things of that nature. And I think it's very important that everybody understand that. So if you can read through it. I don't know if anybody attended the meeting, but if not, read through the information and get me or get Chris Vitale the acknowledgements, and I'll make sure that he gets everything.
And the acknowledgement, I want to be clear, the acknowledgement is in the email. Okay, so it's a form that you.
There are 2 attachments, the document and the acknowledgement.
So you don't have to just send an email saying, I read it and I understand it. It's the form itself, and that should go back. It takes a bit of time to read it. It's a lot of material. And if you're new to the commission, you might want to read it more than once, okay, just to make sure you get it. So there's a lot of material there. But I think I echo Mark's statements. I think it's important for everyone on the commission to understand the rules of the road, the parameters of what we're doing as a commission. And I will tell you this much, I think we've been following it, at least in my experience here, we've been following it pretty well without I think just because we had such good leadership in the past, who set the table for us, and I'm thinking in particular of Jackie McDonald and whatnot. We've been following a routine in our meetings that I think is corresponding to what the select board and the other boards are doing as well. So that, and it really is all geared to two things: conducting the meetings in a legally appropriate way, and also in a way which is respectful to each other, staff, and the public. Again, we want to make sure that the public has confidence that when a proposal or a project comes before us, it is treated fairly. It is treated with intention. That means that we actually read the things that are submitted and we come to the meetings informed and educated and able to make intelligent decisions in conformity to our jurisdiction. Okay, so a lot of that is just common sense, but please do read it. I thought it was helpful. I read it, and I honestly thought that many of the suggestions, I was glad to see many of the things that were there were things we were already doing, but it was a good reminder. And I think we all need that at times.
Mark, real
Next.
quick, I dropped mine off at the town clerk's office. Is that all right?
Yeah, she'll probably give it to the to.
I saw that she had to sign it, so I figured I'd just drop it there. And they
Yeah.
took it. And they were like, "Yeah, whatever." So,
I don't think it'll take a great deal of effort for her to
yeah,
go up
I just
to-
wanted. So Mark, I won't be sending that along to you because they already. got it.
Okay. Do you want me to follow up with that with the
Chris.
clerk, just to make sure that it gets upstairs?
Yeah, I think that might not be a bad idea, Mark, just to
Okay.
be sure. And if any commissioner doesn't have Chris Vitale's email, let Mark know. He'll send it to you. But it was in the packet. I mean, it was his communication that we're really responding to. Okay, Mark just was the messenger. Next item, Mark, please.
Yeah, and this could get really drawn out. I hope it doesn't, because I think it would be too premature. Last week, I forwarded you town council's review comments of the regulations, the draft regulations that we had voted on back in the spring. And as I kind of feared, but I wanted to make sure, the regulations, I tried to modify the existing regulations to the best of my ability without drastically changing their format and totally rewriting them. A, as an effort on time, B, as just to keep things consistent and not look very draconian. But town council did verify that with the way the bylaw was revised last year and approved, the current format of the regulations doesn't really address the bylaw. They're two very separate documents. So that was the message that I've got to take some time. We've got to take some time to get those closer together. So on the draft that I sent you last week, there's a lot of pink, a lot of comments, a lot of suggestions. Following sending that to you, and I think I indicated in the email, the transmittal email, town council and I met via Zoom last week to discuss things. And, we're at a stage where we could discuss a lot of things individually, but his suggestion, and I think it was a good one, was that he craft a letter to me indicating large policy areas to which the commission could address by and large to establish what they really want to regulate and what they don't want to regulate necessarily within the guise of the bylaw. I received that today. I sent that off to you today. I don't know if anybody got a chance to really read it. And it's not just a one read like, oh, this is a great idea. I mean, you got to read it. Town council is pretty specific about some things. One of the big issues that town council raised was that for years, we've had the regulations and we've had that document, the filing requirements as separate documents. And he thinks that the filing document, while it can remain a standalone document for the portal and other things, but the text and the context of that document has to be imported into the regulations. That's a lot of work to make it fit. But I've started that process and am working towards it. I don't know when I'm going to have a draft that is ready for you folks to read, but I'm working on that in between everything else that I'm doing. So that's where we stand on that. And town council also indicated that they would like us to, digest this and respond to their suggestions before we really sit down to work out the final draft language.
Well, we got a ways to go before we get there.
Yeah,
Because basically what we're being asked to do is start from scratch. And it goes back to what we talked about 2 years ago. I don't want to go through it tonight, but I mean, we really have to think long and hard about why we have this hybrid of our bylaws and the regulations when it seems like all we do is regurgitate the bylaws and the regulations. To me, it's a completely backwards way of doing things, but I get it. That's the way they want it done. But if I were a person working for an applicant within the town, I would find this cumbersome to try to figure out what it is you want us to do. So anyway, that being said, we'll have to work on it, but it's the most frustrating experience I've ever had. Okay, just so that's so everyone knows that it seems like they made the Constitution of the United States in a fraction of the time we're spending on this. But be it as it may, that's where we are. Next.
well, the last thing I would say on this is that I think I'm asking that we all take a concerted effort. I need to hear what you folks have to say on this. I don't want to read minds. I think I need everybody's input on this. This ultimately is your regulation, not mine. So inputs are critical, and I would say look at town council's comments and bleed all over this document. Let's just do it and get it done. And let's do it the right way instead of nickel and diming away here and taking another 9 months to get a document finalized. We're a long way off, but I don't think we're that far off. I mean, I think it's just, you just got to knuckle down and do it. That's all I got on that. The last thing we have is an enforcement issue. We put a copy of a letter that Eduardo had written to the violator. We got a call from a neighbor, an abutting neighbor to 38 Lakeside Avenue on Lake Nokichoke, that Phil was being placed in the lake to create a beach. And they were doing some patio work on their lawn area, laying in some stone pavers and things like that. Some of which is probably exempted, but the sand in the lake is certainly not. It's a fill of a wetland resource, land underwater. It's changing the coastal, the inland bank condition. Land subject to flooding. It's probably affecting slightly, but not to any point where anybody would notice. So they are doing it and they haven't addressed any of the performance standards of the resource areas out there. Again, as a reminder, Lake Nokichoke is property of the city of Fall River. its water, and the land under it. So this is being done, this activity is being done not on the violator's property, but on City of Fall River or in City of Fall River property. And their name appears nowhere as part of this project. So the letter that Eduardo wrote that I reviewed indicated that they were in violation of state and local wetland laws within the jurisdiction of the town of Dartmouth. And without permission, they may be doing an unauthorized trespass on City of Fall River property. Excuse me. And in that letter, we suggested that they get back to us by August 28th, which would be this upcoming Thursday. Eduardo received a call from Mr.
Jason Lord,
Lord,
I believe he was.
and we have set up a meeting between Eduardo, myself, and Mr. Lord a week from Thursday at 8 a.m. in the morning to discuss what the next moves are going to be. Certainly, it's going to be an after-the-fact notice of intent with probably restoration. You can't be building beaches into the lake. That just and up there they can't remediate for that or mitigate in any way, shape, or form. They have lakefront property. They have a bank like everybody else. Nobody else has constructed a sandy beach that I'm aware of. So, and I would submit that this after the fact notice of intent probably should be validated by the issuance of an enforcement order. So I'm asking the commission to authorize the issuance of an enforcement order for violations to land underwater, bordering land subject to flooding, and inland bank.
Commissioners, anyone have any questions?
It's a nice looking beach, though.
Well, it's a beautiful beach if it was legal, but so I'll entertain a motion to authorize the requested approval to issue the enforcement order.
So moved.
Second.
We have a seconded on the motion. Roll call vote. Nat?
Yes.
Megan?
yes,
Donald?
Yes.
James?
Yes.
My vote is yes. That motion passes unanimously. Is there anything that someone wishes to bring before the commission that we haven't already discussed?
I have one last thing. Our minutes clerk is currently enjoying vacation in Alaska. So the minutes for this evening's meeting will not be ready in as timely a fashion as they normally are. We may not have the minutes by the September 9th meeting, so I'm just making you aware of that ahead of time. She'll be getting back, I think, on the 8th, and I don't think she's going to have time to do it, but we shall see. But I just wanted to give you an FYI.
Okay. Anyone else? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
We have a seconded motion on the floor. Roll call vote. Nat?
Yes.
Megan?
yes.
Donald?
Yes.
James?
Yes.
My vote is yes. The meeting is adjourned. Thanks, everyone. Appreciate your attendance.
All right, everyone. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Take care.